I'm really excited to talk with you both about this movie. I was telling Jen and Jessica when I interviewed them a few weeks back, but I think this is the heartfelt movie of the year for me. It's so sweet, it's so funny, and I love you both in it. What about the project? I'll start with you, Awkwafina, and then Sandra. Sparked your interests to want to be a part of the movie?
Well, I knew that Jen D'Angelo is this really talented screenwriter. She kind of just sent me this script, and what piqued my interest because we still wanted to. There would still be some work to it, but what sparked my interest was the idea of a sister relationship, and immediately I kind of thought, like this has to be Sandra. There's no one else, and so yeah, and then Sandra obliged, so that was very cool.
Yeah, for me, it was when Nora approached me with the script, and um, I was surprised when they told me, oh, so it's to play Jenny and Nora was going to play Anne, and then they said very quickly, oh no, sorry, you play Anne, and Nora's going to play Jenny, and I remember thinking, that's not as funny. That's not as funny. And so I talked to Nora. I'm like, Nora, what do you feel if I played Jenny? And she was just like, no problem.
I think I was like, I don't care who you play as long as you, yeah.
That's what you said. And I want to be able to work with her, and then two, to be able to play this kind of outrageous character, and to probably see Nora in a much more subdued kind of like a young woman who's struggling and who's like obsessive and who's awkward. I was like, that is more interesting to me.
Well, and I love that. I mean, we see some of that in Nora from Queens, but we see a much more reserved side of you in this movie in comparison. What was it like playing sort of against type for this movie, even though there may be some parallels between those two characters?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for watching Nora from Queens. That is true, because I feel like Anne sometimes, and I think I've been waiting to play a kind of person like that, someone who it's kind of all up here, and is quiet and like shy. I definitely have those qualities, so it's like in that way it wasn't against type, because I felt like it, but it was also really nice to kind of just like observe what Sandra was doing too, like, because I feel like it balanced out Anne's character too in Jenny's kind of unhingedness. Yeah.
I love that you got to have that experience in this movie, because it is such a great dynamic to watch. Now, one thing I find interesting about this movie, too, is that it was initially set at Netflix before moving to 20th Century and Hulu. And since you both are producers on this project as well, I'm curious, what about that move do you feel helped benefited the movie in comparison to maybe hurting it, like some projects would during that kind of shuffle?
I mean, that was very, very early on, and I think that obviously, things move, things shift out, and I'm just so grateful that it ended up where it did, because I think that we had amazing execs. We had obviously producers, Gloria Sanchez, that we really trusted. So that I'm just grateful that we ended up somewhere, and that they were also in turn a really great team to work with.
That's fantastic. They really seem to have let you guys really hone your vision, as I learned from Jen and Jessica as well. And Sandra, I mean, it's crazy to see how much physical comedy is in this movie from you and from Jenny, and kind of like with Awkwafina here. I mean, it's something that audiences are not generally used to seeing you with. Was it like, really diving into this character and holding nothing back for some of her antics?
Oh, so fun. So fun. I come from a theater background, and one of my classmates is a clown teacher. And that's one of the ways that I started getting into and trying to define Jenny physically. Was hiring him to help me in clown, because also I come from that place, so I know that language, and I just thought her character is right to kind of explore in the realm of clown. So working with him was terrific, and it's just like really, really fun. I don't know if anyone has ever seen any of the show I did on HBO called Arliss, there is some physical comedy in there. Actually, there's a lot. There's a lot of physical comedy in there. And I actually really like it. I really like doing it. And I just have not had the opportunity, let's say, to be able to explain. You can't do it necessarily every single thing, every single project that you're in. But basically, Jan D'Angelo wrote one of the best entrances for a character ever, which is, you see Jenny enter into the back of Anne's frame, and just there is a tornado coming at her, and she's hit by a car, and it gets back up and starts slamming on the door. I just thought I have got to nail that entrance, and that is as broad a physical comedy as you can get. Oh, it was great to do.
You're very good at physical comedy. I would say that she's very talented at the physical comedy.
I adored that introduction to your character in this movie. I was dying laughing when it happened. So I really hope that people see this and give you more opportunities, because you are quite talented in this field as much as your more dramatic work. Now, another thing I love about this movie is the twist that you are trying to win back Mr. Linguini. And that dog is just absolutely adorable. And I'm curious what it was like working with the dog on set for this movie.
I mean, he was, I think for his age, because he was kind of an older dog. It was a chill job, because all he really needed to do was kind of sleep and stuff like that. He also had kind of a double, where when he needed a break to relieve him, and she was I think her name was Harriet or something like that. But it was a pleasure to work with pugs, and he was a great guy. I hope he's doing well.
I am definitely allergic, so there's a lot.
Right.
There's a lot the dog is on set and I cannot be on set, and then there was a lot of that management. Oh my gosh, a friend of mine, she goes, "Oh my God, when I saw you, Jenny, running with the dog, I thought, oh my God, what's going to happen?"
No.
We planned out. You notice, when I'm running with Linguini is in a blanket. You know what I mean? But it's so many wipes wiping me down. So yeah. But I mean, you can't beat a pug. You just cannot beat comedy pug.
That's amazing. I love to hear all of that. It sounds like such a rewarding experience. Before I let both of you go, Awkwafina, I'm a huge fan of Katie in Shang-Chi, and I know you can't say anything per se, but I'd love to hear what you're looking forward to potentially exploring in the future in, a Shang-Chi 2 or anything else.
I'm just, if it does happen, I would just really excited to see where Katie will go. I think that I think Destin is such an amazing filmmaker. He working with him was incredible on the first Shang-Chi. So I really think that he might have something exciting. So I'm very excited for that.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. But in the meantime, I really look forward to just continuing to spread word about this movie. It is so sweet and perfect for families gathering for the holidays. So thank you both so much for taking the time to chat. I truly appreciate it.
Thanks.